Yes, YouTube. Welcome to another episode of Garden of the Mind YouTube channel, where we reduce stress, increase our health and fitness, and improve our financial IQ just a little bit every episode. Today we're going to talk about how to make smarter decisions with your food. If you're a new subscriber, welcome to our village. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome as well. So let's get into it. If someone gave you a brand new luxury car, I mean your absolute dream car, what kind of gas would you put in it? Would you put in the regular? Would you put in the extra? Or would you put in the supreme, which is the best type of gas? Most people would put the best type of gas they possibly could in their dream car. They would change it with the best oil, have only the best mechanics working on it. But when it comes to their health, they take a different approach. Now, your body is better than any luxury car and should be treated as such. They say that you are what you eat, so what exactly are we putting into our body? If you are already eating the best foods and putting the best things in your body, then you are way ahead of the game. But most of us, we're not exactly doing that. If you watch this show, you know that I believe in moderation. I believe that you should eat the way that you're supposed to eat most of the time, and then reward yourself by eating the things that you want to eat, which are probably not going to be the best thing for you. But that's usually one of the things that makes life worth living. Now, I hate to be one of those people that plays Monday morning quarterback and talk about all of the things that you know you should be eating. You probably already know that. What you probably don't know is what is your relationship with food. What makes this type of food more desirable than this type of food? Have you ever thought about that? Most of the times, if we look into some of the foods that we really like, there's a reason why we really like it. Either it was scarce in our house, or they will only cook it during special occasions, or there's usually a very fond memory that's attached to what it is that we're eating. Most of the time, when we were younger, we couldn't control how many times we had this, but now as adults, we can do pretty much anything. But, yet and still, what is your relationship with food? Food in this society can be a celebratory thing. So, for example, if you just got a raise, let's go out to eat. Or if you got a new car, okay, let's go out to eat. Usually eating is one of the rewards in our lives that we can't wait to take advantage of. And I thought about my experience. Now, there was a time where I lived in a particular community, and every food that we ate came from a different store. So if we needed meat, we went to a butcher. If we needed bread, we went to a baker. There was even a milkman where we went to buy our milk and other milk products. Later on, I remember moving to another neighborhood and going with my friends to go to the supermarket, and they actually purchased some meat from the supermarket. And for me, who is used to freshly killed animals, I couldn't believe that they were going to eat this food that they had purchased. I thought to myself, this food has been packaged in plastic and we don't even know how long it's been there. And unfortunately, I was a child at the time, and when I went to the store with my friend, I said, "You gonna eat that?" And of course I offended him and ended up having to apologize. But the point was that I was used to having fresh food at the time and couldn't imagine buying something that has been sitting on shelves for such a long time. I recalled that at that time, I didn't get sick as well. I was very rarely sick. And I also attribute that to how I ate. Now, I attribute most maladies or sickness to what it is that we put into our bodies, either through our mouths or what we put into our bodies through what it is that we listen to or see. Most of the times, we don't get sick off of our own accord. Sometimes we do, most of the times we don't. Most of the illnesses that we are experiencing can be traced to a clear source. And if it can be traced to a clear source, that means we have a certain level of choice in terms of what it is that we put into our body. So, I'm not saying never to eat junk food as long as you live. What I am saying is let's be conscious of how much we put into our body. Let's be intentional on what it is that we eat. If you choose to eat junk food 24/7, you know it's bad and you know exactly how bad, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm talking to the people who would like to change. They know that they're eating one way and they would like to eat a better way. That change happens in your mind. It doesn't happen on your plate. It happens in your mind and then in the preparation in terms of what it is that you buy so that you can continue to maintain a certain way of eating. In order for you to get something that you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. So, what is it that you are willing to sacrifice? What is it that you are willing to give up? Are you willing to give up a little bit of comfort now for better health later on down the line? If you are interested in improving your eating habits, what I would recommend is to get a composition notebook and write down everything that you eat for an entire week, the exact times that you eat, and what it is that you eat exactly, what type of foods, how much, what was going on. Keep like a food kind of journal. Most of us, it's not so much how much we eat, but it's the times we eat. If we eat too close to bed, all of these things affect our general health. After you write these things down, look at it later, and I guarantee you, you'll be surprised at the correlations that you'll see. You'll find that there is some food that you eat far more frequently than you thought. And you'll find that you eat other foods far less frequently. Whatever the case, once you get that information, you'll get an opportunity to see exactly how it is that you want to eat. What small changes do you have to do in your diet so that you can make this happen from week to week? Habits are behavior. If you have certain habits, that means you're engaging in certain behavior to the point where you very rarely even think about it. And here we change our habits just a little bit every day. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. The journey of 1,000 steps starts with one step. So don't try to jump to step 1,000 before you take the first step, either physically or even in your mind. Take one step at a time and focus on the steps that you're making, and you'll get the change that you are looking for. If you like this episode, please give it a thumbs up. If you like this channel, please subscribe. If you want to know when I post, which is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but the exact time so that you can be the first one to hear exactly what it is that we've discussed here, please click on that notification bell. And in the comments, what I'd love for you to do is to write down what you think is your relationship with food. Is it from scarcity? Is it comfort food? Or did you use food as a sense of control? Please put that in the comments. Tune into our next episode for Mindful Mondays. I'll see you.